What's good, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog, coming today talking about pandemic-proof businesses for the future. Now, here's the kicker. If you don't know, if you haven't been reading, if you haven't noticed, Europe is locking down again, and your favorite city I love to talk about that you think I hate, New York, is also locking down again. So right now, my friend is here in Texas, and he has about 8 or 9 weddings that he will be serving as a DJ, right? And because we're open here in Texas, right? And I've shown y'all picture after picture after picture of Domain and downtown Austin is on and popping. They're living their best life. Now, if you could please, in the chat, put your city and state and let me know if you lock down, okay? Because some of y'all is locking down early. Now, don't get it twisted. Fall is coming, cold, flu season. But the best thing some of y'all can ever do in your state can ever do is get all this fall travel money. Now, what do I mean? Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, you see all these leaves changing colors and people want to drive north to see those leaves. Y'all better take that money. Now, today I was really slammed. I got freaking slammed. I was doing papers back to back, papers. Because we have one person who came off quarantine and one person who went back to quarantine. Okay. And so we're in here working hard, but this is just a season. Okay. Now, let's just be very clear. Ohio, the state. Now, why am I bringing this up? Pandemic. I want you to understand that Ohio, the state, since 2010 has had 63% increase of business filings. That means people filing for LLCs, filing for companies, creating businesses. What happened in Ohio in 2010? Does anybody know? What happened to Detroit in 2010? Does anybody know? Put in the comments what you think happened in those states in 2008, 2009, 2010. And why I'm pointing it out is people will turn and be resilient through struggle. We'll create through struggle. We'll keep producing through struggle. We'll keep maintaining through struggle. Again, why am I bringing this up? I was doing an interview and I tell people to fail forward. Now, what do I mean? I'm going to give you a quick little rundown of me per se, but I just want you to understand that, again, I had a coffee shop in North Carolina, but not only did I have a coffee shop, I get super invested when I'm somewhere. I had a film festival called the Sand Hills Film Festival that ran for 3 years in a row. We received movies from all over the United States. I had a comedic show that would come and do their show at my coffee shop to the point that they sold it out enough that they started doing their comedic show at our local independent film theater. Right? So they would fill out the film theater. And then some of those people have even gone on to live in LA at this point and work in film in LA, some to Georgia and some to Wilmington, North Carolina, work on film and comedy stand-up. That was years ago, right? And after I closed my business, I went to another state, started here, started more businesses, worked multiple jobs, had struggle, had problems, had strife. That's life. But I kept failing forward. I kept improving and kept going forward. And from here on, guess what? Every year, I'll buy a property personally for me, right? Outside of group investments, outside of JV deals, just personally for me every year for the next 10 years. Why? Because we still have to pivot and pursue and persevere, right? A lot of people look at failure or something not working 100% right as, oh, I'm glad I didn't do that, girl. Because if I'd have did that, if you'd have did that, what? Andre Hatchett had a great quote he put up that people are the king of starting something and never finishing something. And I keep telling people, if you just start and you keep going, you don't know where it'll lead. Several of those people that had that comedic show, they've gone on to LA and they've gone on to Georgia working near Tyler Perry Studios and all this good stuff. And I remember running into one of them and like, hey, you really started that here first. You put a film festival in this town first. You had a comedy show. You really kicked that off. And I laugh because I go, one, I'm grateful for the memories, but two, we keep moving forward. Every one of those guys, I want them to keep moving forward. I want them to go to Hollywood. I want them to get real famous. I want them to get more famous than anybody you know, right? And the problem is we start stuff, and if it doesn't do 100%, if it isn't shiny and gold and blowing over, we stop. Oh, well, I didn't get 1 million subscribers in 1 month. I'm done. That's crazy talk. Kevin, Meet Kevin, was just talking about how he's making $1 million a month right now. And I'm telling you, he started 3 years ago because he met Graham Stephan. Okay, 3 years, and now he's really killing it. What if Meet Kevin gave up 2 years ago when his company, that was a construction company, was failing and his real estate was failing? What if he would have gave up? See, people don't pursue something for years, and I understand. You aren't me. You're not willing to go start new businesses and start new companies and go for 2, 3, 4 years, and some years are great and some years suck. There are people who've seen me in Austin sleeping at a friend's house on a couch and now see me now. They've seen it. Over the course of all these years, they've seen it. You don't always go straight up to the moon. Sometimes you go up and sometimes you go down. The other day I was at Gold's Gym, and some guy who I remember I used to go in there all the time working out, and he was always there. He lost 100 freaking pounds. I was proud of him. And I'm like, man, you really doing, man, I'm going to get like you. He's like, girl, you already losing. I can tell. I said, well, thank you. Thank you, baby. You know, I'm trying. Right. But it wasn't that. It's the fact that you got to keep going. Homeboy used to be 450 pounds and he broke his leg and he still was going. Now he's much smaller. But at the end of the day, people think something's going to happen in 6 months and they're going to be big booty Betty rich. And I want to tell you that's not true. That's not true. Normalize starting and continuing. Normalize having rough months. This is part of why I get frustrated that I have partners or I have investors. I have 127 different partnerships going on at any given moment. And not all of them this year have been successful or thriving. That's 100%. Some are delayed. Some are behind schedule. And guess what? I'm going to keep going because not only am I going to satisfy those people, I'm going to satisfy myself. I'm going to make it right for me. COVID didn't stop nobody. COVID does not change what you promised. COVID does not change what you promised yourself. COVID doesn't change that. Do you understand? You have to be committed. So when I talk about pandemic proof, some people are gonna be like, "Oh, Erica, that's all that list is. That's it." That's the thing. Y'all not willing to struggle or squeeze or be uncomfortable for anything. I heard this guy talking the other day, and he quit talking to his friends. It's a YouTube channel. I don't know if I want to share it now yet, and he was talking about how his first year of marriage was so hard, and all his guy friends are like just big booty Betty the club up, and he really wanted to quit. And he said, "No, I'm gonna dig in." And he said the second and third year were so beautiful. But if he complained to his friends, he complained to his family that everything sucks, what do you think he'd be today? You think he'd still be married? No. He knew what he was talking about on that channel. When I was watching, I was like, yes, brother, stick with it. I mean, because everybody wants what's easy. Everybody wants what's Instagram easy. Everybody wants some entanglements. People want some entanglements with their money. And that's not real life. See, the greatest danger and harm to a lot of these kids growing up without both parents is they don't see that sometimes your parents don't even like each other. Sometimes they mad for a day and they get over it. Sometimes it's beautiful seasons in life and sometimes it's not. For whatever reason, kids just forget that middle school day was ugly. And then all of a sudden high school day, the finest thing ever. But you had an ugly moment. You had an ugly season in life. And people lose track of the fact that sometimes seasons in life are not beautiful and not easy. They aren't always a ball of fun. They just aren't. I have several friends every year. I'm be careful here because someone watches this channel. They complain about their money. They complain about their investments. They complain about life, but they make sure they go on those ski trips. They make sure they go on those vacations every year without fail. Without fail. The vacations didn't change. The complaining increased. Trust me, I'll sit there and go, yeah. Because I can't say anything. Because people have to determine when their enough is enough. Every couple of years, I lose people. Now, what do I mean I lose people? I really didn't lose them. Okay, I gained new people. But I make a commitment to me. There are several people who was like, man, Eric, I almost told you to quit that YouTube and get a real job. And that's just it. They look on YouTube and be like, well, you don't have millions of followers. You don't have, but I'm making impact in people's lives. Changing lives every day. That's what's important. Period. Period, as they say. And I want to talk to you about pandemic proof businesses, and I'm going to go over them here in the list. But I just wanted to let y'all know that, because sometimes people say, well, Erica, you come out of nowhere with the YouTube channel and investments. No, honey. 2011, 2010, when I'm sitting there with a coffee shop and I'm sitting there hosting comedic shows that sell out. I'm hosting a film festival 3 years in a row. I'm hosting and I'm going to events. I'm participating in the community. I'm going to Chamber of Commerce events. Those were the years of consistency developed. I didn't just hop onto YouTube 2 years ago and all of a sudden I'm raising $1 million. That does not how that works. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. Okay. You have to show some business experience. People are trusting you with their money to make a return. You better show them what you're working with. You better put it all on the line. So again, when people think, well, I'm just going to go into stock market trading, I'm going to do Forex, I'm going to do this, I'm a wholesale. Listen, anything can work if you work it. That's the thing people don't want to talk about. Any of these things that we talk about on the show or people I bring on the show, any of these things can work if you work it, but that means you got to work. All right. So let me, that was my little cold intro. If you don't know, I think it'll be up here pretty soon, is the Gratitude Journal. You guys will see the link here in a day or two after I approve it. It is amazing 90 days to get you back, reclaimed, rejuvenated, back in the swing of things, full of gratitude and mindfulness for your family and your current situation. Why? I see online, and I'm not making fun of it, but I got to, people talking about how I can't wait till I'm 45-year-old man making $80,000 a year so I can go over to the Dominican Republic and buy a woman. Honey, you better live your life today. If you a 30-year-old man making 30 grand, you better go date somebody today. Because there's some people who don't live. There's a lot of people who've had heart attacks, who die. King Magnum over there just died at 38? And y'all talking about how you gonna wait to 45 and 50 to get married and have kids and do your life? Honey, please. I know too many girls who got married and their father died like 6 months later. Their dad died a year or two later. That's not living. I don't want to die at 80 because I waited to 60 to have a baby. That don't make sense to me. Make it make sense. Now, I'm not just talking about relationships, but I'm talking about your life. I have friends who will not live life because they ain't there yet. Well, I haven't made partner. Well, I haven't got my other engineering master's degree, so I'm not going to do. Listen. Have dreams, have goals, but also live your life. That's part of why I made the Gratitude Journal. We'll have that out here pretty soon. Now, on to the show. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I ain't going to be here that long because your girl is sunlight and it's fall in Texas, and that's where happy hour is, okay? So let's go ahead and do this and knock it out. Number 1, wholesale. I'm going to read through it, then I'm going to come back and explain. Okay, everybody? Number 1, wholesale. Number 2, property preservation. 3, Zoom anything. 4, online earning. 5, homeschooling related. 6, online sales. 7, home comfort everything. 8, internet service. 9, streaming anything. 10, repair. Just the word repair, I'll go deeper. 11, community events, safe events, group development. Number 12, cleaning. Number 13, stocks. Number 14, financial markets. Number 15, podcasts. And number 16, YouTube and related video sharing. So over my 12, honestly, years of business development, consulting, 6,000 phone consulting calls, all this stuff over all these years of me putting in consistency is what you see now. People didn't just give their $1 million to some dum-dum off the street. People didn't just let me go buy trucks off just hope and faith. They were like, Erica, you better get to work. So again, these are pandemic proof businesses I just listed, and I'll explain to you why they're pandemic proof. And a lot of people are like, wow, how'd you know that? A couple years ago, I predicted a couple things, but I'm going to leave that alone. We don't have to do that here. We already know we telling the truth. Wholesale. Now, what is wholesale? Wholesale is when you are not selling it for retail price wholesale. Now, we could talk about wholesale housing, wholesaling land. Right now, there's people wholesaling trucks. There's companies that went under 60, 50, 30, 40 trucks. Well, then some guy comes in and just wholesales all the trucks. Whether you bought them for 50 or 60 or not, they going for about 24 to 30 right now. That's the going numbers. 30,000. So you can wholesale just about anything. So wholesaling will be pandemic proof. It'll be Rona proof. It'll be whatever proof. As long as people can get on the computer. I had recorded a video talking about auctions, and I don't even know where I put that thing. I can't find it, but I recorded a whole 30-minute training on auctions, and it's either in this laptop or 2 other ones at home. I'm gonna go find it, but it was a really good one because I wanted to talk about how, auctions, warehouse, and some stuff and some good picture lighting angles, you can sell anything online. Okay, so that's 1, wholesaling. Number 2, property preservation. We have 17 million vacant homes in America. Let me say that again. We have 17 million vacant homes in America. People move from cities. Some cities go bust. Some cities go up. Detroit, Ohio, a lot of those cities went almost belly up, as you would call it. And property preservation is something that will make its way back. That is continuous. I don't even think of property preservation just for, bank-owned homes. Property preservation right now, we have rentals, 2 of them, 1 right now, but 2 if I don't get the right contractor in a week or 2, that we have dogs, protective care, locking the windows and doors to protect ourselves from vandals, from people who are so hungry that they'll go, or on crack, one of the 2, they'll go in a house and steal copper pipes, meth heads, go in houses and making meth. You have to protect the property when it's not occupied. And so when you have 17 million houses in America that are empty, that means at some point in time, property preservation is still going to be viable, period. It's a forever, ever business. Okay. Number 3, Zoom anything. Now, let me be very careful. When I put Zoom anything, this is before I read 14 articles on how the security of Zoom is terrible, which I could have told you that. You had Skype, who had 17 years ahead of Zoom, is probably more secure than daggone Zoom. Zoom is being used overkill. Schools, my Bible study group use. Yes, that's right. Your girl's Bible study group on Monday uses Zoom. And so the Zoom, when it becomes so popular, well, guess what's going to come right after something being popular? Hackers. Sorry, jokers who want to break into something and steal information. So it's not as secure, and people have complained about ties to China, and TikTok kind of issues, security. I'm going to see if I can bring on Gehenna to talk about cybersecurity again, because I think some of y'all at home being reckless, but that's just my 2 cents. So I put Zoom anything, but in the future, I think somebody will come and dethrone Zoom. I don't know who, but look how fast it dethroned Skype. In the swipe of a knife, boop, took it over. So either somebody on staff there, somebody somewhere will dethrone them and take it over. Same thing with webinar. You have Webinar Jam. You have all these different webinar-based companies. So the software is out there. Doesn't mean Zoom will always be the leader. It'll just be the easiest. It's like, hey, I'm on Facebook. Well, I'm not on Facebook. I'm on all these other platforms that are like Facebook, right? So same thing. But if you have a business or you teach classes or anything, Zoom, it'll be Rona proof. Number 4, online learning. Online learning is old as time. Now, even when I watch some of these YouTube channels where I think it is just mindless dribble, those guys are learning something. I mean, the main person talking is teaching you something. But online learning in the form of teaching kids English, Spanish, Chinese speakers teaching children English overseas, I mean, all that stuff, that online learning is here to stay and here to grow. It just is. Okay. Number 5, homeschool related. I remember back in the day, people made jokes that homeschool kids were weird and they were off. And I have a friend who's in her 40s and she's homeschooled, and you can still tell to this day she was homeschooled. There's some stuff you'll talk about on TV and she'll be like, what is that? What are you talking about? We're like, that TV show that everybody saw when we were kids? And she's like, who? What? Never heard of it. And so in a way, now, especially North Carolina, prime example, North Carolina homeschool kids used to play sports against private Christian schools. You're going to have so many homeschool children come out of this pandemic. And the reason why is parents are going to be like, oh, I don't want to send little Joni back to school with the germs. They're going to keep them home. And then you're going to also have people as they start to move further out, realize, well, is public school even necessary? Do I need to send them there? And I have more to say on that, but I'm trying to be careful how I want to say that. I'm just being careful. But anything homeschool related right now, my family's even asking for tools and tricks and things and books to help my 14-year-old nephew, who just turned 14 the other day. Congratulations, Mr. 10% owner of a truck. And he's also a 1% owner for some land. Do better in school, right? What interests him? Do better in school. My 5-year-old, he just turned 5 nephew, he is just wearing Batman and listening to his kindergarten teacher. So, I mean, again, it's like homeschool related, anything that helps parents transition from, well, wow, I'm just going to let the child sit there and listen to the teacher online, or I could actually interact with my own child. I think homeschool will also go up as I predict. And I may be wrong. Y'all can always keep this for long-term information. I think 25% of women are going to go home from work and not go back. I think, and I'm be careful here, but I think hyperinflation is going to require that it just isn't feasible for 2 cars, or it isn't feasible. You may have a minivan, but you ain't driving it every day, right? The gas, or it just isn't feasible for little Johnny to be at daycare. You're just going to have a lot more women home. And I know people are like, Erica, these women better work. No. A lot of studies show these women working are getting strokes and heart attacks and bad health care and all this stuff. So that's my 2 cents. But anyway, and a part I forgot on number 3, Zoom anything. Also, telehealth care. Our friend saw a doctor via televideo, and he looked at his leg, and then they sent a doctor over to put an x-ray machine on the leg. Just a leg, just like this big old machine on the leg, little machine. And then they found out it was broken in 3 places. Zoom anything. Okay. So anyway, next part. 6, online sales. Online sales. Now, everybody acts like I don't shop online. I don't want the criminals getting my debit card. Well, this Rona proved that y'all were a lie. As the lie detector test says, you were a lie. A lot of people bought stuff online. They ship stuff to their house. Right now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I couldn't find a male friend to go lift this thing at Lowe's. And the guy was like, girl, why don't you just get this delivered and let us drop it? I'm like, you just said nothing but a word. He was like, let's go on the computer and type it up and I can get it sent to your house. And I said, perfect. So online sales are just going to be the way of the future. It'll save people a lot of time, a lot of struggle. People buy things, period. Online sales is just here to stay. People are going to be way more comfortable. I told y'all back in 2010, when they were trying to convince me to put coffee beans in bags online, I was like, oh, I ain't never heard of that. That's crazy. Why are we selling? You can sell on Amazon, girl. See if you sell on Amazon. And I was like, I don't understand. I'm telling y'all, I could have been a coffee selling girl, but I didn't understand at the time. So missed opportunity. So again, online sales, people are way more comfortable now with online sales. Number 7. I guess I should put this on the screen, huh? Sorry about that. Number 7, home comfort. Anything home comfort related, you name it. Whether it's fixing stuff at people's house, pillows, air conditioners, mosquito nets, things that just make people comfortable at home. If you can come up with any kind of little niche thing that you can sell for people at their house to be comfortable, honey, they'll buy it. Squatty potty. Let's just be really honest. The squatty potty is comforting. For those of people who are struggling, probably need more olive oil in their diet. But anyway, and coffee. But anyway, home comfort, anything. Number 8, internet service. So I don't know if you guys have ever been to parts of Florida, especially by Disneyland. They have signs, not necessarily Disneyland, but a little bit further out towards Hollywood, Florida, and some other spots where they have signs talking about rural internet service. If you're in Alabama, you'll see them often. Rural internet service. It'll be bandit signs all the time talking about rural internet. Well, that's the deal. Internet service in some of these places is just spotty or not at all, or they're still on dial-up. Half the nation isn't on fast internet. The fastest internet they have is their cell phone. Let me say that again. The fastest internet they have is on their cell phone. So anything internet service related, increasing people's internet service, getting people cheap internet service is going to be the way of the future. AT&T is really hardcore dominating on this, but I expect other competition in the marketplace to come up. So if you can be an internet seller or an internet provider or internet service installer, you will have money through this pandemic. Number 9, streaming. Let's be honest. Right now we're streaming. StreamYard is relatively new, right? If you have something streaming related, you're going to make money. Now, right now, there's a thing called PureFlix, and it means pure Christian videos, movies, pure fix, like pure fix. There's also a Urban Flix, which is like black made movies, and then they're all streaming stuff. They're all streaming. There's a black channel that only streams. It's on a few Roku channels, but it just streams. So streaming is going to be a big thing. I expect Tyler Perry, even though him and Oprah are connected at the hip, at some point, I apologize, in the future, he'll have his own streaming service. I really believe. Because he's Tyler Perry. All right, number 10, repair. Now, what do I mean repair? I mean repair. There are so few people in our society who know how to repair anything. If you can repair something, you are about to be the man, the woman, the person of the hour, whether that is appliances, whether that is kids. Can you repair these kids, right? Can you repair windows? Can you repair cars? You're going to have a disconnecting society where people are out here driving Teslas. Like what's funny in Austin, we have a bunch of Teslas showing up all of a sudden. Wink, wink, y'all trying to be cool. Y'all need to get with it. And you'll have people who can still repair old style cars. So that will be a big thing in the car market for sure. But repair anything, homes, anything you think of, repair. Okay. Now, I know y'all have a ton of comments. I thank y'all so much for commenting and supporting the channel. Again, if you want to Cash App, the Cash App's there. Thank you for supporting the channel. You can do just about anything with this channel. I thank you for all of it. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I know we going home. Okay. Anyway. All right. Number 11, community events. This is my favorite of all the list because for those of you who aren't in my YouTube class or my Rise to 20% class, there is a very funny event we had discovered on Eventbrite called Sip and Touch. Go look it up. I will not make this show not PG for that. But if you were in my YouTube class or my Rise to 20%, please put in the comments, Sip and Touch. It is an actual event on Eventbrite that was sold out. Now, number 11 is called Community Events, Safe Events, or Group Development. I promise you, companies are going to find out ways that they can have company picnic days, company event days, volunteer again back like they used to at United Way and golf tournaments. Right this moment, I'm developing what I'm going to do for my staff next year. Are we going to do a golf tournament? Are we going to volunteer with United Way Days of Giving? It's not a forced thing, but there's not many staff here, so it kind of is a forced thing. We're going to work on ways to have safe events. And if you look around, there's going to be a lot of communities that come up with safe events on Eventbrite. People are people. They want to meet in person. They want to see each other. They want to interact. And that's kind of what that's going to be. So if you can develop, like right now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, there is a urban camping event that I'm going to. Well, not only does this urban camping event happen, they also have, they go to Cancun together. They go to Dubai. They're going to go to Dubai at the end of the year. I'm debating to do that. I'm scared to be in Dubai at the beginning of the year. I don't want to have to fight my way out like the Taken movie, but I may go. And so it's a bunch of mid 30s and 40s, maybe some older African-American people, well-to-do, middle class, coming together to do an urban camping event. They have urban camping, they have urban skiing, they have urban everything. Like they literally go to Toronto, another group goes to Vancouver. There are several companies that are putting together these events and making killer money. If Kevin Samuels even did this event, he'd make killer money. But they literally go camping and 300 people show up in San Marcos, plus men and women. They go do, They go do a ski trip and 200 people show up in Toronto. sometimes 500, depending on the year they've had. They go do a lot of trips, and it is like an amazing thing, right? And so if you can be that thing that, hey, do you go to the urban culture events? And I'm like, no, what is it? Girl, they always meet in San Marcos, right down the street from you. 300 plus Black people, they out there listening to Frankie Beverly and Maze and cooking out and having a good time. Event. Even with Rona, they sold out. I'm buying a camper ticket just so I can get there. Now I got to rent a camper just to go because all the camping regular tent spots are sold out. So you still gonna have 350 people show up in San Marcos, and you're gonna have another 200 show up skiing this year, and then you're gonna have another 50 going to Aruba, another 50 going to Cancun, because that's what they do, right? So there's groups that do that. Okay, so then again, for those who didn't see 1 through 6, again, 1 through 6 was wholesale property preservation, Zoom anything, online learning, homeschooling related, online sales, 7 home comfort everything, 8 internet service, 9 streaming, 10 repair. Okay, so let's go do the last. Okay. These are the last ones. I ain't trying to be here all day. I love y'all, but today y'all got things to do. Okay. 11 is community events. We just talked about that. Number 12, cleaning. We talk about it in a Middleman to Millions course. We've done broke down 4 or 5 different ways. We're gonna have cleaning companies that stand out and cleaning companies that can charge a lot more than the standard 100, 200 every time these girls come to your office and clean. Straight up. So part of that is developing companies that can clean, companies that can get government contracts, companies that can make money off cleaning. There will be a lot of that in the future. Cleaning these schools, cleaning these football locker rooms, cleaning these Airbnbs, and you can charge more because you're using different type of cleaning products. Okay. Number 13, stocks. As you can see right now, if you put your computer on incognito, or you can go on another computer and you type up stocks, YouTube's high volume traffic conversation right now is stocks. Right now, I'm pretty much producing 2 or 3 videos a day to go put on the stock channel that I have on a separate channel just to catch up with all the algorithm of stocks, right? I also have a class, a YouTube channel where I talk about books that I've read. I've kind of reviewed them and what the helpful points are. And I try to keep the videos under 10 minutes. Why? Because it's just a synopsis of the book and kind of my hit or miss big takeaway points. That's on another channel. Why? Because niche is easier and niche is stocks. And then when you can go in stocks, you break it down even deeper. Are you talking about people who day trade? Are you talking about people doing forex? Are you talking about people doing swing trade? Are you niche it down repeatedly, right? And so there are 230 people in here. Make sure y'all hit the like button, okay? And if you're on my email list, you will see those other channels' names. I don't give them here on YouTube because I don't want Skynet to win. Skynet will not block me. It will not shadow ban me. If Skynet just showed me to the 40,000 people that register to my channel, like right now we have an email list of 10,000 people I sent an email out to that I'm going live. You think Skynet let them know I'm live? No. Okay. So anyways, 14 financial markets. Now I didn't mean financial markets. I meant to type financial literacy, but we're going to just say financial markets just because I typed it in there wrong for now. But financial literacy, right? People learning the basics. The fact that I keep showing y'all picture after picture of people paying 28% for a Dodge Hellcat truck. The car is $44,000, but they're going to pay $60,000 plus in interest, paying $100,000 for a Dodge Hellcat, paying $1,100 a month when they could own their own house. They could go clean their credit up for 3 months and come back and try to get the Hellcat. These are things that must be taught. See, people out here will have you believe, Erica, it's my mama's fault. My mama didn't tell me I was no good. She didn't let me learn nothing. It's my mama's fault. No, honey, if you're over 25, it's your fault. That cell phone in your hand is capable of teaching you new English words, language, dictionary. It's able to teach you classes. You can go on Udemy. There's power in that hand No pun intended. There's power in your hands to educate yourself, to improve your life. I'm really tired and sick of the mantra that my black mama made my life bad. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got a lot of white friends who say the same thing. I got 2 Hispanic friends who say their mama get on their nerves. At the end of the day, we can't blame our parents for where we are in life. We have to actually take initiative and take care of our lives. I know that's unpopular, but financial literacy, a lot of it starts with deciding to be better. That's how I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna leave that one. All right. So next one is 15. 15 is podcast. So podcasting to me is the return of radio. See, radio used to be, if you go back and ask your grandparents, you probably ask your parents, honestly. But if you ask your parents, depending on your age of your parents could tell you in 1940s and 50s, like every town had its own radio station. It had its own DJ, and artists would come town to town to town doing little shows. And the radio was this thing that you could hear the songs you want. You could call there, you could request, and it could talk about things on Sunday, and it'd have Sunday shows. And that's where we're returning. YouTube was doing a good job till the algorithm decided that they only want to show you who they want to show you, and they'll choose winners and losers, which that is what YouTube is doing right now, choosing winners and losers. And the thing is, they will learn you can't shadow ban the radio. You can't shadow ban podcasting. You can't shadow ban other stuff. You may try to shadow ban your girl with low views and low attention, but it's okay. Can't shadow ban me forever. There's other ways I'm gonna win. So, anyways. So podcasting is a return to that. It's the return of like hearing your favorite people talk, and even the sports podcast shows are making a ton of money because, instead of listening to Stephen A. Smith, stupid self all the time, and Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, like you get to actually have your say on it, and podcasts are that way. They're returning to that. And also, you know what? Back in the day, let's have a real honest conversation. You could be ugly as hell and be on the radio. You could be ugly as hell and be a singer. You could be fat. Aretha Franklin was fat. Etta James, even on cocaine, she was fat. Y'all, it takes a lot to be fat on cocaine, but she was fat. The woman who wrote the original You Ain't Nothing But a Hound Dog that Elvis Presley stole and she really didn't get paid a lot of money for, she is the original writer of that song, and she was fat. A lot of times what we've lost in video is true talent. And I'm going to say it and I mean it. The women who were talented singers, that it didn't matter what they looked like. They sang their heart off. Another artist, what's her name? Somebody told her she was ugly and they put her in the back to sing. I can't remember what was her name. It's not Etta James. It's the other woman that sang that beautiful song. She died in the 90s or something. Oh, I hate that I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay. But part of that woman, she was handsome in the face. She was just handsome. Okay. She had a strong jaw, but she was an amazing singer. Same thing with Adele. Like so many people are like, oh, Adele's so beautiful. Well, she wasn't fat. Baby, she's just a singer. She's a singer. Lady Gaga. They wanted Lady Gaga to get so many nose surgeries. And she was like, no. This big old nose is going to take me where I got to go. So we're going to return Ella Fitzgerald. I think so. Yes. Ella Fitzgerald. I think that's who I'm talking about. She wasn't ugly, but they kept saying she was ugly. And so she was always very shy and she was big. Will said she had a strong face. She had a strong face. Okay. That just is what it is. God gives us what we got. Sometimes you got a pretty face and you got a fat body. You got to work what you got to do. You just got to work with what the Lord can give you because you don't always get what you want. Okay. So there was a time when talent ruled. You had to be talented. You listen, Tyler Perry, God love him. I can't argue with the billionaire, but Tyler Perry picks the prettiest person he can find and puts them in a movie, regardless if they can act, if they can sing, if they can move their face on key, regardless if they, God love him. I get what he's doing. Soap operas had pretty people on that weren't that talented. That's all. Listen, politics is called Hollywood for ugly people. I don't want a good looking politician. No, I need them to be ugly so that they'll work hard. That's just life. But see, podcasts let us return to people who were talented. That was a long way of me saying podcasts are strong in the future. That was a really long say. That was a really long saying that. Anyway, 16 is YouTube or related video sharing, which can be Venmo, can be several other platforms. There will come a day someone dethrones YouTube, but it'll be like 30 years away. The only reason I say that is when I want to learn something, I Google, and Google and YouTube are in bed with each other. So it's hard to say that YouTube will lose. Now, YouTube, have they deleted people's channels? Have they kicked off people? Have they shadow banned people? For sure. For sure. But again, get in where you fit in. Make sure you run your advertising and all other platforms to still get your leads out, get your word out, get your access out. Again. So, but yeah, that's, I mean, YouTube is powerful. YouTube, I've made my healthy six figures almost. There's a lot I could say on YouTube, but again, it's a way to connect with people. It's building trust, like, and knowledge. Any of y'all can come to my office and see this is the real office. This ain't no set. People that come for the boat party see this is a real office. I'm in here doing real work. I'm in here really trying to make returns for my clients. And that's what I do. So, I'm going to read some of you guys' responses, and I hope that list was helpful for you guys, because a lot of people want me to tell them exactly what to do. Well, should I do this? Should I buy a truck or a house first? Should I do this? And I have a video tomorrow that's dropping that I pre-recorded about if you have $30,000, what to do. But at the end of the day, like, a lot of those things, if you stay in the parameters of that and keep going, you'll be fine. Again, I told y'all, after all the things I've learned, I'm going to make sure I buy a piece of land every year and a piece of property every year for the next 10 years. Even if you don't see me no more on YouTube and I'm at home with babies or something, it don't matter. It don't matter because that is all roads lead to real estate in the end. What's up, everybody? What's up? California, New Jersey, Georgia, Florida. Well, thank you, Patrick Dixon. He said, my beautiful spiritual adept sister, you're doing a wonderful job teaching. Love you. Love you too. Decatur, Georgia, we wide open traffic out here. Well, here's the thing. 61 million cars got off the road. So people are forgetting that for whatever reason. Anyway, Detroit, Michigan, semi locked up, not ramming with it. Okay. I live in Houston, but we still have my place in Brooklyn. I had to cancel my travel plans because business is slow at NYC. Yeah. What's up? What's up? Milwaukee, bring on the fire. Thank you. Ooh, I lost over 100 grand over the last 10 years to get me where I am. Now I'm closing six-figure deals. You have to fail for it and not be afraid to go. Now I'm closing six-figure deals as a tech biz. Congratulations, big money growth. Dinner on big money growth. Cancun on big money growth. What's up? I'm in Silicon. We're partially open with restrictions. You guys, I think, are getting ready to close up too. Thank you, LRA Movement. He is the non-custodial parent books. He got a book called Tales from a Non-Custodial Parent. LAR Movement. Hello, senor. I love hearing you speak. You make me go into action. I thank you. Listen, SNS said, Cam, let me borrow $5. Hard work pays off. So true. Great message. Thank you. We all want to win instantly. Oh, thank you. I appreciate y'all. You know, I try a little bit. Every year we try to get a little bit better. We try to clean it up over here. Yeah. Listen, let me tell you, if you'd have told me, I'm going to say this, and this is just true confession moment. If you'd have told me I was working out with my trainer for almost a year and a half, and I've seen the greatest change when I actually finally changed my diet 3 months ago. Like I went somewhere and people were like, oh, girl, you look good. You've been working at trainer for how long? I'm like, a year. But now I moved the dates up to 3-4 times a week and changed my diet. They're like, don't you feel better? I'm like, shut up. Because sometimes we got to let it go. Nah, man, I still gonna eat that pizza. Gotta let it go. Still gonna eat that fried chicken. Gotta let it go. Gotta just change it up. Gotta change it up if you won't change. Right? So again, working out teaches you patience. I thought Gary Vee was tripping when he had worked out for a year. And he's like, if I knew I was gonna work out for a year and this is all I was gonna get, That's kind of how I feel. Oh Lord, it's jumping. That's too. I'm gonna go in here. It's all over the place. Preach. Thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, take time. Take your time. Listen, listen. Pandemic proof companies. I'm about to get my home inspector's license right now. Lots of fellas in Atlanta who can't get an LLC. Why can't they get an LLC? Why can't they? Why can't they pay $125 for LLC? Tell me why. Tell me. Tell me, baby. Oh, thank you. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Big facts. Listen, okay? Do it the right way. Thank you, Chris Lee TV. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, y'all. Y'all are so sweet tonight. I appreciate all of you. Coming with the word. I'm trying to get it in here and get out. Okay. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Love the printed cover. Oh, yeah. Listen, this is the full book. This full enchilada. It's the actual book in here. Okay. You guys, listen. I'll just tell you one of the pages. What is a hard lesson that you are grateful to learn? Yeah. I make you go deep in this book. What's the most important lesson that life has taught you this year? I can't read the rest, but there's a lot of different questions in here. Gratitude. You got to develop that mindfulness. Well, thank you. Look at y'all. Blessing me with the comments. I appreciate you. Lord gonna bless you. Tear up my hand here. Yeah. Okay. All right. What's the next? King Magnum, I ain't gonna talk about him because the Lord said it's ill to speak. The Lord didn't say that. Let me correct. Southern Baptists told me it's ill to speak of the dead. But they say old boy had the HIV. Or as we say in the South, as I die slowly. You put the words together. As I die slowly. Something y'all have a lot of in Atlanta. That's what they say. Oh boy, a couple people that used to be with him have the HIV. Okay. I ain't spreading no rumors though, but you can look it up. But I'm just saying he did a very nice thing the last couple years of his life and look like that. Gone. We ain't guaranteed a long life. I told y'all one of the biggest things that changed me on this channel is I had a friend who she was 36 and she got married and getting ready to leave Austin. Only being married like 60 days, like she got in a car accident and she died. So she didn't even get to like fully live with her husband. You know what I mean? And you just aren't guaranteed, y'all. You're just not guaranteed to live forever. You just aren't. Ain't nothing pandemic proof. It isn't. See, there's a thing called what you can control. You can control getting yourself up every day. You can control what you put your hands to, what work you do. Yes, there is. Blogging is as old as time. When you go Google something on Google, the first one you might see might be CBS News, but the rest are usually from blogs. If you don't believe me, go test it out this week. Go test it out. Everything you think you want to look up on search on the internet is 90% of them are blogs. High up there. Well, MS dropped Skype and moved on to MS Teams. Okay, hair. What's that mean? You like my hair? I brushed it today. I don't believe that. Right now, NI and a couple other companies, which I didn't mean to tell that business, but a couple companies here in Austin basically said, don't come to the office to 2021. Some of them said that they're going to let you go home for longer than that. So. Exactly. Same thing about mobile notary. Think about it. People want people to bring a service to them. Andre Hatchett has been making mobile notary money for about 18 years now. There are people in his class that have made 12 grand in 1 month. One dude in North Carolina. I want to bring him on the channel, but he'd be busy because he's making money. Will elitism get worse? Yes. Yes. I can tell you right now, all these master plan developed communities, your children will not talk to these children. If you don't live in that neighborhood, like I just showed y'all a couple videos ago where I was in Frisco in northern Texas, as those try to correct me in the video, those are master plan communities of $500,000 to $2 million homes. 30 minutes outside of Dallas. Whole different world away. They're really 30 miles outside of Dallas. So let me correct myself. There are plenty of Black people all over the place. Everybody living nice, driving big fancy cars. You're not going to be over there. Only those kids are going to go to those schools. And those kids are going to go to certain colleges. And that's why you have SMU. You have Rice University. You have certain universities. People ain't going to go. Okay, Jason. I love Squatty Potty. Don't do it. Listen, girl. I mean, if you need Squatty Potty, do what you got. Do what you got to do. I'm just saying. Yep. Okay, Jason. I'm gonna put you in timeout today because I think you need time to think, just for a little bit. We're gonna put you in timeout. Oh, come on, y'all. There were 62 lights and 242 people here. Don't do me like that, baby. Do right. There's a guy asking, is this my real hair? Y'all, this is my real hair. Look, everybody. This is my real hair. This is my real hair that I have on every single show for the past 7 years. But every show, someone Black comes in here like, that's your real hair? Is them your real hairs? Is them your real hair? This is my real hair? Oh my God, it's your real hair. Yes, it is. I know I'm being too much, but okay, I'm done. You'd like to learn more about my transportation business? I'm not going to say trucking is panic proof at all. I ain't going to say that. I'm going to say there's trucking companies that will continue forever. I mean, you can have 1 or 2 trucks and keep going on. Sip and touch, baby. The sip and the touch. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. No, I am not Panamanian. You wouldn't guess it if I told you. Okay, Peter. I'm glad that's working for you. It's so funny. Oh, yes. Podcasts are the truth. Just scored 3 industry podcasts this week for CMOs, building the SEO for your traffic for your business. Indeed. Podcast ads are next level too. I've just finished recording 22 podcast ads. Every one of them different because it's exhausting. And I'm going to do deep diving into marketing onto podcasts. So. All right. So again, yeah, podcasts. Listen, I think I've done 60 podcasts ever since I hired Savannah. So I told y'all, people want to, everybody needs remote. You just need VAs. I had someone working remote for me, and in 3 months, charging me $600 a month, she could only find 6 podcasts. Really, she only worked for 2 months, and I fired her. And she's like, "Oh, you owe me another month because of the way my contract set up." I was like, "Cool, no problem." I bring a girl into the office. She only make about less than 3 times what that, maybe 2 times what that woman made in a month working home, and she works in the office and got me 60 podcasts in under 3 months. Sometimes you need employees. I know why they shadow ban me. This channel has too many topics on it. And 2, I still do live streams when live streams are really for gamers like Twitch, and they're for certain streamers. If you watch The Amazing Lucas, he streams like day and night. Like he streams like 3, 4, 5 times a day to fight against the algorithm, because the algorithm really doesn't want you to stream. So he'll do political topics, which are controversial. He'll talk about police officers, and then he'll do some gaming. And so his channel is heavy topics, too many topics. But because he's always streaming like all day long, he still gets a ton of traffic. So I'm streaming and I'm sometimes posting pre-recorded videos, which makes the algorithm mad. It says, stop it, Erica, quit doing that. And so for me, the only way I can control it is if I keep growing my SEO outside of this, which is podcasts, interviews, billboards, radio ads. But I mean, listen, at one point, y'all, I'm trying to get an infomercial at night. I'm really trying hard because that's where the millions are. If Grant Cardone just did one infomercial at night, he would be a billionaire. Closer. Handsome women. I've been to places and they've been very like, I'm not being a hater, but there are some people who have amazing bodies and handsome faces. So I'd be like, girl, Instagram is where you need to stay because that is a handsome face. The Weather Girls, yes, it's raining men. They had a good show. Strong jaw. Yes, very strong jaw women. Sometimes it'd be like that. Hell to the no cat. They be wanting them Hellcat. There you go. Big Mama Thornton wrote Hound Dog. Big Mama Thornton. God, that's sad we don't know her name. I did say fat on cocaine. I did say that. There are some people from the 80s who and from the 50s apparently. Louis Armstrong. No, I ain't doing no free online fitness. I have to have somebody. Let's go. Stay in the fight, Erica. You know, I literally realized that when I quit going to my kickboxing classes in person, that I could tell, like, I go punch the bag, but I wasn't as excited. 2021 boat party. So not only will it be boat party, it'll be barbecue and winery plus boat 2021. It's going to be very nice. Listen, you know, with me, no, I ain't going to go there. They can go off the rails. SBA is offering opportunities for business to transform from brick and mortar to digital businesses. If that is true, they better hop on it for sure. Yeah, congrats. Honey, listen, JW, I want to do a whole book. I really want to write this book so bad. I'm really trying to get these 2 creative ghostwriters to help me write it. And it's about women having strokes I'm going to just read what he put. Women having strokes at rapid pace due to stress. Build, create passive income, get married, retire at home is the way to go, ladies. Listen, I mean, I've even seen some of these young ladies. Now, don't force somebody to be what they're not. Don't go marry this guy and all he want to do is play video games and drive pickup trucks and try to make him into some real estate mogul because that's not what he wants to be. Now, if you get into some of these real estate events and conferences, hook up one of them little ugly dudes and call it a day and grow your business life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's better together. That's all I'm saying. Hit that like button. Okay. Oh my God. So many more. It's 58 minutes. Got to keep it under an hour or the algorithm's going to get mad at me. From North Carolina. Yes, I'm from North Carolina. I'm a daughter of the Carolinas. Now, I have lived in Alaska. I've lived in Alabama. I've lived in Maryland and I lived in Tennessee and I currently live in Texas. And before I die, I'll probably live a few other places. I'm not certain, but I still want a condo in Nashville. Thank you for confirming. Hello, everyone. I just want to add regarding the Zoom. I'm currently training to be AA's courtroom reporters and captioners are swamped with doing remote work on Zoom. So Miss Erica's right. Thank you. Yeah, share with the class. I'm pretty sure if you type in caption jobs, you probably find them. Ah, that's interesting. Good information. My friend is moving because they pretty much said they didn't have to come back to the office, and I would move too. Y'all, I'm serious. Do y'all see why I do this? You see why I pull the hair up and do all this stuff? There's a girl called, and just to address this, there's a Maria. What is her name that has the business school? Maria with the business school. White women send her the same stuff. Is that your real hair? So she literally had her guy come and comb through her hair on a live show. It's very funny. But I'm gonna Black Thila, thank you. But what I'm gonna do is put you in timeout. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Listen. I know. People haven't traveled enough. I mean, I don't think have you ever been to Virginia? Have you ever been to Virginia or Northern Virginia? Have you ever been to there's a thing called Brass Knuckles. You guys can look it up. And it's actually a racial slur from the 1940s and 50s, but it was certain Black people who had long curly hair. So anyway, I'm from that region of the Carolinas. If you know what part of Carolinas I'm from, then she's already answered your question. Try to stay on top of people. I know yep. What braces? Not no braces over here. My assistant found over 1,000 podcasts she thought was an easy paycheck. Listen, work them assistants. Work them. No, I hope not. Okay, what else y'all got? I'm about to get on out of here. This is true. No simp September. That's crazy. Oh, okay. Thought Crimes over there. Congratulations. I'll probably give them some super chat money. Marie Folio. Yes. Girl, I don't know. And honestly, I think some people have been too long. I'm going to say in the manosphere, in the red pill sections, in these sections where they don't interact with regular people daily. The number one thing, I'm going to put together a free training. Let me write it down. And the training is going to be called Explosive Networking. Why? Because most people don't want to go out of their house because they interact with people they don't want to interact with. But I'm going to show you how I interact with people I want to interact with. And I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to put it in a little free training. And I'm going to put it out in an email probably tomorrow. Honey, I've had white ladies be in the domain drunk trying to touch me. It's crazy. Cam, they don't worry. They'll learn eventually when I get one of these government contracts. I'll be out there like, multiple minority. Thanks for the government check. Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But anyways, you guys, that's it. That's what I got for the show tonight. You guys have been amazing. I think you'll enjoy the free training on explosive networking. I'm gonna put that together and call it a day tomorrow, and I'm leaving the office so I can go enjoy some din with folks. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. This was a show about pandemic-proof businesses. And if you haven't gotten the Smartphone Millionaire book, How to Invest in People, Businesses, and Real Estate from the palm of your hair, you should. Palm of your hand. I got me saying hair now. And the real estate, the Classy Climb planner right here, how to get yourself on track. If you don't want the planner, you're like, Erica, I plan my own life. You know what you need though? Some gratitude. Get that gratitude planner coming up in your life. And those should drop sometimes this weekend, I think, if I check my Lulu. Okay. But thank you guys for so much for being here. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, being a part of the channel, and helping it grow. This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog, coming to you later. You guys have a wonderful evening.